entertained by the show called Pop, so they drop the knowledge on all the latest thoughts from comics and movies, games and TV shows.
Hey, this is Pops. Want to give you a rundown of a few comics that are key issues that are sort of like investment slash higher price books, things that have projects that could drive up price, drive up demand. It may be something you might be looking for. If you don't have, you might have to run out and get before the price kind of takes off a little bit, or something that was worth significantly more that's come down in price. So looking at around a $20 price range. But I got to be honest, if you shop around, go to eBay, go to some of the big vendors out there, you might even be able to find it cheaper than that. So let's get right into the list. The first one for me is going to be a no-brainer. Daredevil 227, a Frank Miller Born Again Part 1. Obviously, the Daredevil Kingpin stuff is going to come back with some sort of Daredevil Born Again Disney Plus series. Don't know exactly what that series will look like. Don't even know if I think it'll be good. But here's the thing. Frank Miller Daredevil is good. This is a really good issue. I think $20 is really on the higher end. I think you can find a pretty good copy for even less than that. But make sure you check out those edges. They got a lot of white on them, things that you kind of have to kind of pay a little attention to. But yeah, you'll be able to pick this up at a reasonable price. Trade paperback of Born Again as well is probably something you can also get at an affordable price if you're looking at something just to read and trying to kind of dive into a little bit ahead of that show or that kind of good content of Daredevil Miller stuff. All right, this is a pure speculation pick. Totally awesome Hulk #1. It's the first appearance of Amadeus Cho as Hulk. I think that as we kind of throw out the timelines, we look at Mark Ruffalo leaving the MCU at some point. I think that obviously they're going to go with Amadeus Cho, which I find to be an insufferable character. Yeah, it's a modern book, 2016. It's an Asian dude that becomes Hulk. Who wants that? I don't know. It's not a character that I like, but I can tell you, you can find a nice raw copy at around $15-20. I think you're probably doing yourself good because you fast forward the clock, let's say 10 years, this is a book that people are going to be looking for. So I just don't think it as that hard to believe this is going to happen at some point. All right, this is the first appearance and origin of Spider-Man 2099. Now, I know people dutifully point to Amazing Spider-Man 365, but I can just tell you that this is really the important key book to get for Spider-Man 2099. And now that the movie's over and past, I know we're supposed to probably get another Spider-Verse movie at some point, but this is what you want if you wanted to read Spider-Man 2099. You want to get yourself a copy. We're on a little bit of the slope where it's kind of dipped down a little bit. Again, that $15-20 price range, you should be able to grab a copy. Now, this one has a prestige sort of card stock cover. So it's like a foil cover. It's like a card stock. So what I ask you to do is kind of run your finger along this left edge and make sure you don't have any major divots or folds or creases and things like that that may not be reflected in the price, because that's the main condition issue with those stock paper books. All right, I'm selfishly going to throw Spawn #9 on the list, Angela's first appearance. I think that Marvel has some ties to this as well. It's the first appearance of Medieval Spawn and Cagliostro. I know there's a King Spawn film. I know I would love to see Angela show up. I don't think it's going to happen. I just think it's a great book. I think it's super cool. If you can get a nice copy, and in full disclosure, I do sell these. I do have them from time to time. So if you're interested in one, I might actually even have one. So yeah, $15-20 should easily get you one nice out the door. Has a lot of white on that edge, so make sure you watch for scuffing and things like that. You have a lot of discoloration on that. So yeah, this is a good one to try to track down if you can. All right, this is one that I think you can probably grab $15-20. No one's talking about Kick-Ass #1. This is a 2008 book. There's actually only like 47,000 copies of this book, so it's not a high print run for that era. So it probably, given it's been a little over 15 years since this came out. A lot of black near that edge at the top, but getting a nice $15-20 copy of this book might be something you might want to look at. If you want to grab a copy, you've got it. Mike Miller stuff's always great. You got John Romita Jr. art. It's kind of a key issue if they decide to revisit Kick-Ass or they try to put him in something else, or Miller does something in his universe. So just one of those to kind of throw out there because it's not an easy one to find. It's not a big name book that anyone's looking for, but you might, because of that, you might be able to get a good deal on one. All right, Green Lantern 48. First appearance of Kyle Rayner. Think Kyle Rayner is going to somehow appear in the DCU or not? Don't know. Do I think that Kyle Rayner could be relevant in the Green Lantern universe? Don't know. $15-20 though. First appearance. There's also a little appearance of the girlfriend who's brutally murdered. This is the fridging thing. So yeah, that's out there as well. But I don't know, for a major character that has lasted this long, we're looking at like 30-year anniversary of Kyle Rayner. So it's kind of interesting that someone that most of us dismissed has kind of been around that long. So yeah, just another one of those books. I think it had been significantly above this for a while. It's kind of come down a little bit, but yeah, something you might want to put on your radar screen. This is the first cameo of Bishop. He's in like the final panel, but it is sort of a cool book for 15, 20 bucks. 283 is as well a good book. If you're looking at that $15 to $20 price point for Bishop books, I think Bishop should be one of the key characters they build around. He was in X-Men 97. I found that to be a really good sign that they actually revisit such a great character. Yeah, so this is a good one. It's a great one to find. I think that it's sort of in that middle in with who has it, who doesn't, how hot it would be. There's quite a lot of copies of this because it's in that heyday of the 1990s, but you should be able to find a decent enough copy at a good price. All right, so Lethal Protector 5. This is the first appearance of a whole bunch of these random symbiotes like Agony, Riot, Lasher, Phage. So I don't exactly know where they're going to go with the Venom movie. I don't exactly know what they're going to do with any of this stuff out of Sony, but for 15 bucks, 20 bucks, you might be able to land a good copy of this series. And actually, all the books in that series, depending on the price you can get, are kind of worth checking out. So they kind of all have a lot of cool stuff that has really been what the companies are enjoying adapting from the Venom series. So it might be something you kind of look at. All right, I'm going to go again a little on the selfish side. Just a favorite of mine, Death of Flash from Crisis on Infinite Earth. This is when Barry Allen dies. Just an iconic cover. Oh, I love this book so much. 15, 20 bucks. I think you can find this cheaper. No one's talking about Crisis books. I think you can look at 7 and 8. You can get that Death of Supergirl, Death of Flash. You can get some of these cool books, cool covers from that era. 85. It's going to be the 40th anniversary next year. So, yeah, something kind of cool to keep your eye on. Kind of a cold key issue, not something that somebody's talking about right now, but you might be able to track down a good copy. And since everybody's talking about Deadpool versus Wolverine, might as well just throw out like Punisher versus Wolverine, right? If you're going to go down the rabbit hole and see cool Wolverine stuff, maybe they could bring Punisher into the MCU to battle with a Henry Cavill Wolverine. Tell me that's not like $1 billion movies, right? So yeah, Punisher Word Journal is kind of a fun book, really, really good stuff. And the fact that we get Wolverine in there, one of those crossovers, pretty good. So this is issue number 6, 1989. Great cover, a lot of fun, and that's what we're looking for sometimes, just good fun. All right, the last one's just going to be a little Spider-Man book. Nothing fancy here, just a little Carnage tease, little Venom, little Spidey stuff. This is 345, so it's just in that era where they kind of introduced Carnage. I think it's a cameo in this book, but it's just a really cool stuff to have in that era. If you kind of thread them together, 2 or 3 of these are kind of fun with this little Venom, and the symbiote stuff gets on Cletus Cassidy, becomes Carnage, that kind of stuff. That it's kind of cooled down because I know they're not going to focus on Carnage, so it might be a good time to look at some of the Carnage books and really some of the Venom books ahead of the movie because some of them really are cool. There's just so many Venom books. You might be able to look into a good thing around the 15, 20 bucks here as well. So, all right, tell me what you guys think. All right, guys, I don't know if you like this idea or not, just randomly pulling up a list, running through some different things that I think that might be something that could interest you or not. I love the feedback that you guys have been able to give me. I plan on trying to do these a little bit, at least once a month or so. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Let me know what you're reading, what you're enjoying, what you're looking for. I am Pops.